Good morning and welcome to yet another exciting edition of the Focus Show, this time around focusing on mining. My name is Glen-nora Tjipura, and in today's show we'll be delving deep into Namibia's mining industry. In today's show, we'll be joined by Augetto Graig, the editor of the Focus Mining Delve Deep Namibia edition, along with Lindy Fischer, the marketing coordinator for the Focus Mining Delve Deep Namibia edition. Do stay tuned. Now I'm thrilled to be joined by Augetto Graig, the editor for the Focus Mining Delve Deep Namibia edition.
Yes, I'm quite proud of it. Thank you very much.
It looks so good. I had a read. You did a lot of, you and your team, I guess, you guys put a lot of work in it.
Yes.
Just take us back. How was the journey prepping this beautiful edition?
You know, it's a very exciting space. The mining space and also energy space in Namibia. It's industries and organizations which are world leaders in many respects. And I think that Namibians, we don't always appreciate what we can accomplish and what we do accomplish on a daily basis. And I think that the Focus edition comes out at a very timely opportunity to prepare everybody with knowledge and insight, so that tomorrow when you go to the Windhoek Show Grounds and you attend the Chamber of Mines annual Expo, which is free entrance, you will have a little bit more background with which to take more out of it, you know, because in that space, it's where opportunities lie. So Namibians, we are currently struggling with unemployment and a lot of setbacks, but to see what is being done, it might inspire you to do something yourself.
Yeah, that's really a key takeaway.
Yes.
Back to, you know, compiling and putting this, what were some of the challenges that you faced putting this edition down?
Challenges, you know, I think the biggest challenge is the scope and breadth of mining activities in Namibia. We've got everything from small miners who dig the hole themselves, go down under the ground, risk their lives to etch out crystal or a bit of gold, or even maybe find a precious stone. And then we've got huge organizations, mines like Husab, for instance, which is the second biggest uranium mine in the world, run by Swakop Uranium there by the coast.
Wow.
So in that space, there's a lot happening. And I think that's the first biggest challenge, just the scope of what you're trying to report on. It's so huge, you know, and one publication really can't.
It's not enough.
It's not enough.
Yeah, I feel like we don't have a lot of publicity around the mining that's happening in the country, because there's all these different mines that are producing a lot of different things we don't know about. I didn't even know that we have the second largest uranium producing mine in Namibia. That's something to be proud of.
It is something to be proud of. And of course, we produce everything from gold and diamonds all the way to copper, iron, and quite significantly, lithium. We just sent our first shipment of concentrate by ship in July.
Wow.
So there's really a lot going on. And I think, but one of the easier parts is that many of the bigger organizations are listed. And listed companies have to declare information so that their shareholders and investors know what's going on. Those are the rules of the stock exchange. And thanks to that, we can look up a lot of information about these companies, which is not the same throughout the Namibian business landscape.
Yeah.
Many businesses are a closed door, but with mining, if you look, you can see.
It's a very open book.
Well,
we like to think so. Well, moving on, Namibia's mining industry has a rich history and continues to play a significant role, just as you mentioned, especially in the economy.
Yes.
Can you share with us some of the current state of the mining industry? And I know that there's exciting buzz in the industry with some oil discovery, and then also the ambitious plan to implement a brand new industry, the green hydrogen energy space in Namibia. So can you share with us some of your thoughts on that?
Definitely, it's at the forefront of development in Namibia, because not only are they implementing the latest technologies and the latest approaches to what they do, but it also has a spillover effect, not only in terms of jobs and in terms of being able to afford things, but in terms of energy. You know, the green hydrogen project is a massive renewable energy project that's going to use solar and wind mostly to take water from the ocean and break it, water being hydrogen and oxygen, break it up into hydrogen and then oxygen, and use the hydrogen to create ammonia, which they will then ship all over the world, specifically to markets in Europe and in America. But there's also the oil. You know, we've had these 5 discoveries now, 5 wells that have brought up oil. We are busy testing those wells to see if it's commercially viable. But the Ministry of Mines and Energy, and the Minister in particular, Tom Alwindo, has repeatedly said that Namibians must get ready to participate. We've got a thing called local content, which we've developed a policy. It's in the oil agreements, and local content says that Namibians must provide the food, they must provide the driving, the services. They must be the backbone of this international industry.
Yes, so providing direct employment and indirect employment to Namibians.
And another way that we can also benefit from the thing. And in terms of the traditional mining, you know, copper has been traded in Namibia since time immemorial. But really it was with the discovery of diamonds that the mainstream mining took hold in Namibia. And you know, I also report on the latest on NAMDEB, which is the successor to CDM, which was when Cecil John Rhodes bought up all the diamond mines in Namibia back in history. That's the longest running, continuous running diamond enterprise in the country. It's basically a grandfather of mining in Namibia, and recently they've been implementing their long-term plan, which will give them 20 more years life of mine, up to 2043 to 44. Wow. So there's really, it's a significant part of our DNA. Namibians have been mining forever. We're very good at it, and we really need to inform ourselves more to become more participant.
Yeah, well put, well put. Getting back to the sustainability issue, I guess that the whole world has. Yes. How are we making sure that the environment is taken care of? How would you say Namibia is working towards making sure that our mining is environmentally, it doesn't harm the environment,
Yes.
and that we are
Yes.
safe
Yes.
in terms of how we are mining. How would you say Namibia is doing so far?
First of all, the protection of the environment is in our constitution, so it goes into all of our laws, and the mining laws in particular. You have to first complete your environmental impact assessment. You have to have a plan for your mine, including a closing plan, before we even give you the licenses to get going on any significant scale. But also we have examples in Namibia of leading enterprises in terms of harmonizing protection of the environment and mining, bringing these two poles together. I think of, for instance, B2Gold, which has its nature reserve surrounding the mine, and which acts as a depository of biodiversity, so that as they close the mine eventually, they'll be able to repopulate that whole area after doing the landscaping, and even make it into more productive than it was before, because it will be a thriving wildlife reserve.
Wow.
With a whole tourism-based industry. And right next door they've got farms for grain, and to also add to the economic viability of the whole project. But even in this year's edition, I report on Dundee and the efforts they make to mitigate arsenic exposure. You know, they've got that incredible smelter there in Chumeb. It smelts copper concentrates, complex copper, which is imported because we are one of the few places in the world where you can smelt that kind of copper. And the trees that they are planting, which some of species that they've identified, which actually help to rehabilitate the soil. So I think in many aspects, Namibia's inclusion of consideration and protection of the environment, even NAMDEP, for instance, has such scientific records of the animal and plant and marine biosphere in the southern Namibia, you know, along the south coast, where their southern coastal mines are expanding at the moment. And they can even predict, you know, by studying weather patterns, when things are going to get rough, so that they can protect their operations, the weather now. Wow. And the seas. But also so that they can know what their impacts are on the environment, which is why the southern coast of Namibia is still pristine. And really, if you have the opportunity to go there, it's a remarkable environmental experience. Wow. Despite the mining that's going on.
And these are things that I think that we also don't hear about,
yes.
Like the strict rules around the environmental impact accessibility. I think that every company needs to have a green lit before they can even get the license, I think.
Yes.
So these are things that we are not necessarily conversing about in the media.
And we must know about it so that we can help enforce it, because that's part of the issue. Imagine many of these mines are in the most remote locations, and you can't expect a handful of ministry officials to get to every operation all the time. And you know, in any kind of profit-driven industry, you're always going to find some people who are trying to take shortcuts and skip on expensive.
I hear you.
So we as citizens, we need to be informed to help enforce our rules. They are good rules. They are our rules. And it's all ours. The minerals
it's our
themselves.
Environment to protect as well.
Precisely.
We touched on the Mining Expo, and just quickly circling back, because it's happening tomorrow.
And the next day.
And the next day. Yes. Can you tell us, why is it so important? I know that you guys kind of are a vehicle driving with the Mining Expo. I mean, you actually try to come at least a day ahead of the Mining Expo, so that, you know, people read about it, and then, you know, they read about the mining industry in your edition, and then they can also go to the Expo. So it's a nice complementary, and I like that sort of thinking, you know, to complement the industry.
Exactly.
Would you say the Mining Expo and also panels and discussions, etc., are needed in the space?
Definitely, definitely. And there'll be a lot of panels and discussions. The conference goes along with the Expo. It's organized by the Chamber of Mines, which is the representative body for the industry. And they pay for everything, which means that entrance is free. It's not like other expos that we have. And there you have everybody showing off what they can do, what they do. There'll be beautiful things to see, lots of interesting expositions on display. And it's important because the industry is also so important. Economically, it's up to 13% of the whole economy. The GDP comes from there. We have a brilliant story included in our edition written by Joe Muridadi, who is a foremost economic journalist here in Namibia, which gives you a nice idea of the incredible numbers that this industry represents throughout our society, really. So it's really a golden opportunity. It comes once a year. It's now. Take the opportunity.
Exactly. Now, I don't want to leave you just yet, but before I leave you, I would want to just get back to, Namibia is, like you said, the mining industry, to a degree, is the backbone of the country.
Yes.
Do you foresee any challenges or any challenges that have happened in the past that might also affect? Because I remember there was a drought situation a couple of years back that affected
water is a big concern.
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
so
yes.
Are there any challenges that you foresee for the mining industry, and how you also see how they might overcome that?
I think mining is constantly a challenge. It's really not an easy endeavor under any circumstances. You are wrestling the earth for its treasures. And the earth isn't always. But in terms of the Namibian industry, it's in a very a stage of flux, a time of change. There's a huge influx because in order to have the green transition away from fossil fuels, you need lots of materials, you need lots of minerals. You need lots of things, building blocks, which come from the mining industry in Namibia. And as such, there's a lot of interest and a lot of pressures that apply. And it does happen that mines go into care and maintenance, they close down, they get sold. So surviving and keeping the ship on the water, it takes a constant effort. But we have examples in Namibia of people who do it very well, who've been doing it for very long, doing it profitably, and we can learn from our own examples, and we can also learn from the whole world. There's all this interest, people who want to share their innovations with us, and I think that's an important aspect of the whole opportunity.
And I think one thing I've noticed, like you hear mine has gone down on care, whatever it's
care and maintenance.
Care and maintenance, and then it's closed down for a year or 2 years, and then it opens up, or a new owner opens up. So, but the point is, it's always a world that's kind of circling to a degree.
Yes, it's revolving, it's changing,
and
it's ups and downs. It's but it's very exciting.
It is.
It's very exciting, and I think that the more we follow the developments in mining in Namibia, and the more we take ownership and become involved in it, the better it's going to get, and the better off we will be.
Yes, I believe so. I believe Namibians need to be more interested in the mining
industry. One more thing I wanted to mention, with all the sparkle and glitter, we also helped Deb Marine bring out a little publication of a series of stories that we did last year about the Benguela Gem, which is their $7 billion ship, which joined their fleet last year and has a significant impact. It's the most advanced diamond mining ship in the world. It mines diamonds from the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. So also check that out. But in terms of the Focus publication, we also bring out a glossy magazine version of it, which will be distributed for free tomorrow at the Expo. So be sure and grab your copy. I think
yes, I'll definitely be at the Expo to grab my copy and also chat with industry giants at the Expo. Yes. So we'll be right back with Lindy Fischer after this. Now I'm joined by Lindy, the marketing coordinator for the mining focus Delve Deep Namibia. I mean, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I mean, it looks brilliant. I love it. I can't wait to see the glossy version of it tomorrow.
That one is very beautiful.
Yes,
I promise you.
But kudos to you guys. I can see there was a lot of hard work put into this, and you guys really delivered. So I think you need to tap yourself on the back. Yes.
Yes. First of all, I would just like to say thank you to God for always giving us that wisdom and strength to pull this off and make it another successful edition, which I am so proud of, because I think together with Augetto, we are a brilliant team and we always pull it off, even if it's with a lot of stress and tears, but we always do it.
No, you definitely did pull it off. Getting back to the clientele that you guys included in this edition, can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, with regards to the clients, we always try to focus on the clients that plays a big role in the mining industry, so that they can just put out there who they are and what is their role that they do play in the mining industry. And I would just like to also use this opportunity in order to say thank you to all our clients that assisting us in making this a successful product. Because without them, there will definitely be no addition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you just want to briefly mention some of
Yes.
I know it's a lot.
It is a lot. We have Bachmus as our front page anchor sponsor, and then we have also Total Energies. We have Namdeb.
Oh wow! Yeah,
Yes.
it's a wide list.
It's here.
I see. No, there's
And then we have the most awesome. I discussed it with Augetto this morning, and I said, all the stories. I mean, it looks so interesting with all these pictures, and it's just a super awesome product. Then we also have Vivo Energy. That's telling us about their fuels, their products, a whole story that they are giving us on why you should use their fuel.
I like
So
that.
please go.
I really like that. So before I let you go, where
Yes.
can our viewers get their hands on this, and also the nice glossy version? I want the nice glossy version tomorrow.
The nice glossy version, we will hand it out tomorrow at the Mining Expo. So we will definitely be there and also give you a bit of insight on some of the clients that are there and just chat a bit with them, and then we will also share it on all our Facebook pages. And the Mining Focus edition is in all our 3 newspapers today. That is the Republikein, Namibian Sun, and the Algemeine Zeitung. So do get yourself a copy.
I definitely will. Thank you so much, Lindy.
It's a pleasure.
Well, with that, we've come to the end of our show. Hopefully, I'll see you guys tomorrow at the Expo. From me, Glen-nora Tjipura, until next time.
Ciao, ciao.